Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Zill Noorain's online Islamic Institute. This is the importance of Quranic Surahs. Today we will be discussing the importance of the 114th Surah of the Quran. Now if you remember, how many surahs are there in total in the Quran? There are 114. That means that Surah Al Nas is the last surah in the Quranic order. The Quran order starts with Surah Al-Fatiha and ends with Surah Al Nas. But that is not the order that it was revealed in. So the order that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the Quran through Angel Jibreel to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was according to what was happening during the time. And then after, near the end, when the entire Quran was revealed, it was put in this order. So Surah Al Nas was actually revealed much early on. It was revealed in the Meccan period. And the Meccan period is the early part of Islam, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam first received the message and first started telling people about Allah. So even though it's the last surah in the Quran, it was one of the earliest surahs to be revealed. And by learning the importance of it, we'll learn why it was revealed so early on to the Muslims and to An-Nas, to all people, because it contains some very important information. So as always, we learn the names of the surahs. So many surahs have different names, and those names tell us more about what the surah means and what we're supposed to get from the surah. Just like a title sometimes tells us the main point about what we are reading, the name of the surah tells us the main point about what we're going to learn in the surah. Surah Al Nas is known by two different names. The first name is Al Nas. Al Nas is the people, or all of mankind, or all of humans, all women, all men, all children, all adults. Every single person who is a human falls under Al Nas. And the reason that the surah is named Al Nas, well, because this surah, almost in every single ayah, the word Nas comes. So the word An-Nas, the word people, is repeated again and again in the surah. So that's why the surah was called An-Nas. The surah is also known as Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas, which is the entire first ayah. And this is the way that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would refer to this surah when he told the Sahaba to recite it. He would say, recite the surah that starts Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. So we also mention the name as the entire first ayah. Surah Al Nas and Surah Al Falaq together are known as Al Mu'awwidhatain. And what this means is these are the two surahs that start with Qul A'udhu, because these are the two surahs that we recite to seek protection. So Al Mu'awwidhatain means the two surahs we recite to seek protection. So the main topic of Surah Al Nas is about asking Allah's protection from whatever affects us in a negative way. And why is this so important? Because in life, there are many trials and things are not always good, right? There's lots of ways that we can be harmed, either in our deen, which means our belief. Sometimes when we may not understand something, Shaitan might try to make us worse in our understanding, and he'll prevent us from actually asking questions that will help us to understand. And he'll make us think negatively, or he'll make us think bad things about Allah. And Shaitan will also try to misguide us. That's his promise. Many times in the Quran, Allah has said that Shaitan said, for sure, I will try to distract humans, all humans. Because Shaitan is not the enemy of Allah. Shaitan is the enemy of who? Of humans. He doesn't like us. He doesn't like people. So that's one of the reasons that the surah is called An-Nas, right? Because we're asking Allah from protection from all the negative ways that people are affected and whatever affects the deen. But we also have to remember who to ask that refuge from. Only Allah can give us that protection, because Allah is not only our Rabb, our Lord, He's also the Rabb of Shaitan. He's also the Rabb of every single thing. Everything that can cause us harm, everything that can cause us goodness, all comes from Allah. So He is the one who protects us whenever there is something evil around. So that's why we have to ask Allah for protection. And Allah teaches us how to seek that protection from this surah. So some of the gems of Surah Al Nas, some of the beautiful lessons to learn from Surah Al Nas are... So Surah Al Nas is often paired with the surah that comes right before it, which is Surah Al Falaq. In Surah Al Falaq, we ask Allah for protection from 4 things. And we say Allah is Rabbil Falaq. But in Surah Al Nas, we ask Allah for protection from just one thing. But we say it by using 4 of the qualities of Allah. Why? Because no matter what, we may think that, you know, if you see a little spider and you're scared of the spider, you might think that if you just get rid of it, or if you just put it out the window or outdoor, you're safe. You might think, okay, I got it, I'm safe. But what about the whispers of Shaitan? You can't see Shaitan. Sometimes you can't tell the whispers that are happening. Sometimes something seems good, but it's actually not good. How are we supposed to know those things? So we need to ask Allah for protection from those things. And no matter what trouble we have in this world, no matter what evil is there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bigger than that. And also, the trials of this world. So, the things we ask protection from in Surah Falaq, it includes people, it includes animals that might harm us, anything that is created that might help us, that might harm us. All of those things are small. But if a problem comes in your religion, then the thing that will make you strong to face all other problems, which is your deen, which is Allah, if that is shaken because of Shaitan's whispers and because of your doubts that you did not try to get answers to, then that is a much, much greater and serious problem. So in Surah Al Nas, we use 4 of Allah's attributes, qualities to remind ourselves who we are asking protection from and why we need to seek Allah's protection. So He is the Lord of mankind. He is the God, the only God of mankind. He is the protector of everybody. You have to remember who Allah is. There's a beautiful saying that don't think of how big your problems are, but think of how big Allah is, or how much Allah can do. So no matter what that problem is, what that evil is, we ask protection from Allah. So may Allah protect us from the whispers of Shaitan and keep us firm on His deen and religion in a way that will always help us no matter what trials we are going through. It will help us get through the day, because everybody can get through problems of the world. Those things are much smaller compared to something in the religion. If you don't have your faith in Allah, then you're missing a really core strength that will help you through the most difficult of times. So that's why we read Surah Al Nas, to make sure that we seek protection from any trials in our deen. And so that ends the importance of Surah Al Nas. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you benefited from this video, and share this. Jazakallahu khair.